Welcome, sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy. My husband is Paul. We're so happy you've joined us today. We are seeing these high prices over and over everywhere that we shop, when we get deliveries of oil and when we get our electric bill. So unfortunately, I think these high prices are here to stay and we need to make some adjustments. Because even though prices are going up, it doesn't mean the money coming into the house is going up with the prices. So we need to learn how to cut and save and do a little finagling to make our budgets work and still live a full, abundant life. Today, we're going to think outside of the wallet. We as a whole are a consumer-driven society. We see something that someone has, we want it. We want bigger, we want better. And what we're going to share with you today is just the opposite. We're going to tell you, let's go back in time a little bit to a simpler, gentler way and look at some items that we have here in our home that are very vintage. Well, most of them are anyway, and how we use them here in the kitchen. And we encourage you, as you're out and about, shopping at those flea markets, thrift stores, etc., to really open up yourself to older used items in good condition. They last so long, they're economical, and they will save you money. And another really neat thing about these kitchen items, almost all of them do not need electricity to work. So that's always a plus. And we're also going to get out into the garden. We're also going to get into the kitchen. And I'm also going to show you a simple trick when it comes to caring for vintage clothing items. So let us show you these 9 vintage items that we think should be in every modern money-saving frugal home. Here you go. We're going to start with 3 old-fashioned kitchen gadgets. First thing is your manual can opener. I cannot tell you how often I use this. There is no reason for an electric can opener. Get a manual one if you are physically able to use it. This is a great one. This is not sponsored. This is a KitchenAid and it's smooth and it works beautifully. Also, much more sanitary. You can put this in hot soapy water and wash it. With an electric can opener, you cannot do that. And this will work without power. Very important. Always have one, please. An old-fashioned potato masher. Why are you plugging in a mixer or a KitchenAid to whip potatoes? This is perfect. Again, if you have the strength, use one of these, and it can be used without electricity. I use this for a lot of stuff. Mixing dough, cutting in butter if a recipe calls for it. Just another great old-fashioned tool. And then we have a good old-fashioned meat tenderizer. This has 2 sides to it, depending what you're tenderizing, large and a smaller size. What this is great for is tenderizing cheaper cuts of meat. We have used this on London broil. We have used it to pound down chicken breasts. We have used it to break up blocks of ice when our ices all come together. These are still very practical, good items to have in your kitchen. Moving on, we have 3 more. This was my mother's. Look at this wooden handle. Isn't this beautiful? This was made in England. This is a French fry maker. You put your potato right in here, and out this end comes some beautiful square French fries. It has lasted, I don't know how long, but I know they certainly don't make handles out of wood anymore. If you see one of these and you are a French fry eater, save yourself some money, buy a 5-pound bag of potatoes and make them yourself. These are a little sharp because they are cutting the potato, so this is not a child-friendly kitchen tool. For us adults, oh my goodness, this is a winner. This is one of my favorite old-fashioned kitchen tools. This is a nut grinder. This is not child friendly. Again, you see those teeth, they are extremely sharp, so keep out of reach of children. But this has got the glass container. It has got 4 ounces, 8 ounces marked on it. Your cup, your half a cup. I will demonstrate as you take your nuts, pecans, walnuts, put them in, you put the cover on, and then just turn the handle. Look at this. This has got to be from the 40s or 50s, definitely. We use this at the holidays. Just a great little gadget. This is another kitchen tool that was my mother's. We all love to bake cookies at the holidays, and you can end up with a plethora of cookie cutters. These old-fashioned cookie presses made out of aluminum. You just put your dough in the cookie press. You put the different stencil that you would like, everything from Christmas trees to pinwheels, butterflies. If you see this at a flea market or a tag sale, this is wonderful. It will last you forever. It also has different icing tips that you can use. Just to demonstrate how this works, you would take your stencil, put it in the front, and it is keyed. You can see those little flat areas. Just like that, you would then screw the cylinder on, fill it with your cookie batter. And this is threaded, so what this does is put pressure on the cookie batter. So your cookie batter's in here, this goes on here. So once you screw this on, you just give this a turn and the pressure pushes that cookie dough right out of the bottom, and you can make yourself some beautiful, beautiful spritz cookies.
Here's a kitchen gadget that actually belongs to me. It's cast iron. You can cook anything in this. You can put this right on an open fire, which I have done in the past. You can make bread in this. You can make stew in this. You can boil water, potatoes. It's fantastic. It's still relevant in today's cooking. You can use this outside on the barbecue. Let's say you got some family coming over, you want to put on some corn. Do it outside. You know, it's great. It has these nice cast iron raised area in here so that the steam that's generated while you're cooking will drip back down into whatever you're cooking and keep it moist. And this is just an all-over excellent thing to have. Cast iron lasts forever. And even if it's rusty and beat up looking, you can clean it back up to brand new condition.
We actually have a video of Paul doing that with this very pan. So I will link that down below in the description box.
Here's something else that I have. This pot goes right on top of the gas stove. It can go outside on a barbecue grill or wood fire. Again, this is a great little thing to have in your house. Old-fashioned, this thing's got to go back to at least the 50s. That handle is Bakelite. I don't know if you can see the decorative pattern to it, but this is just a great coffee pot, and it makes a really good cup of coffee. This coffee pot was made in the USA. It's called Wherever, and it's aluminum. So, you know, it's easy to clean, it's easy to maintain. It just makes a great cup of coffee.
Now, don't overlook these recipe files when you are out and about at flea markets, tag sales, anywhere. This was my mom's. Anybody who took the time to put this together and you see something like this, grab it. What is inside is priceless. It is handwritten recipes. It's recipes from newspaper clippings from years gone by. Here's one right here. That is my mom's handwriting. It is for our Italian cheesecake, which we call our ricotta pie that we make at Easter time. This is a well-loved recipe, and I'm going to tell you when my mom served this. Every year, my brothers and I would go to my mom's house, and we would trim the Christmas tree. Mom always had this hot mulled cider. Did anyone love it? I don't really know. I don't have fond memories of it, but as you can see, she loved it, and it was made every single tree trimming party she had for many, many, many years. Here's another one. Let's see. A step-by-step cooking class for crisp oven fried chicken. Look at this. 1979, over 40 years ago. So if you see these somewhere, pick it up. It may not be your family's memories or recipes, but I guarantee you, you will find things that are creative and economical in these little types of homemade recipe boxes and binders. There are just 9 things we showed you, but I am sure you could come up with a ton more. Paul and I were just talking. We need a rotary hand beater. That's what we're on the lookout for right now. Just, the old fashioned, you hold the handle and you turn the crank. Yes, that's what we're on the lookout, because that would be a great addition to our kitchen. And remember, so many of these items don't need electricity. And that is so important if inclement weather comes. Hey, you never know. So it's always great to have these little items in the home. Another item that we had showed you last week that we had bought for $1 at our local flea market was a clothesline separator. And we had a lot of comments saying, what do you do with that? What is that? So let's get outside for a minute and let us show you exactly how to use it and what it's for. In our last video, we showed you this little clothesline separator we bought for $1. We were looking for the old-fashioned one that had the wood and the aluminum. Nowadays, they're made with plastic. So many of you asked, what is this for? How do you use this? And I am going to demonstrate this right now. If you look at our clothesline, you can see that the pants, because they're heavy and wet, are hanging down. What this little gadget does, you put the top line through there and the bottom line through there. And now what it does is lifts it. In other words, when you put that divider on, it doesn't allow that bottom rope to hit the ground when you hang heavy garments. It keeps those lines together and you can hang bulky, heavy items. Along those lines of drying clothes, we just wanted to show you a real-life comparison of the quality of something as simple as a clothespin back in the day compared to now. Look at this clothespin. This is a very, very old clothespin. I buy them at flea markets whenever I see them. Just amazing quality. Look at the metal on it. Just wonderful. You can see how time went on. Metal got a little less here too. And then this is what a clothespin looks like today. Look at the quality difference. Can you see this little spring in here? Not only the metal, let's look at the thickness of the wood and how that has even changed over time. Another item we have discussed on this channel that is old-fashioned but still so relevant for today are aprons. The advantages of aprons are immeasurable. They not only keep your clothes clean, so you're not washing clothes as frequently, you're keeping stains off of your outfits. Also, they have pockets, which are wonderful. You can get these vintage aprons with pockets. So as you're going from room to room, you can pick up items and put them in your pocket to put away in another room. Smaller items, of course. They are a wonderful reflection of the past. And we just want to show you some quick, simple tips on how to care for these vintage garments. And it doesn't only have to be apron. I know a lot of you love vintage clothing. So let us just share with you this garment saving tip. Now, I usually don't iron in the kitchen, but I had to show you this. And for the sake of filming, this is definitely a little bit more convenient. We have talked about aprons before on this channel. Now, this is exquisite. A dear viewer who has now become a very dear friend to Paul and I sent this to me, and this is absolutely gorgeous. It was his grandmother's. And as you can see, it has got the cotton front and then the beautiful tulle underneath. And what's so clever about this one is, oh my goodness, the cotton part got dirty. Let's flip it around for company. And now you've got this beautiful tulle area. As you can see, the ties are a little bit wrinkled. And when you wash something like this, you wash it on the gentlest cycle you have and air dry it Just take good care of it. And you can really find some beautiful ones at thrift stores, tag sales, and they keep your clothes clean and make your clothes last longer. Now, something like this, I wouldn't wear to clean the house. This is special. I'm going to demonstrate how to iron this so you don't ruin it and it comes out looking beautiful. So I set my iron on low, the lowest setting possible. And then I take a towel. This is just a regular clean dish towel. And as you can see, you straighten out the tie or any part of the apron that needs ironing the best you can. Make sure it is covered with a thick towel. Iron is on low, and you're just going to do this. The heat will still penetrate, but you will not scorch the fabric. And always use dry heat. Look at the difference. Look at that. This is what it looked like. And we totally revived that. Look at it. And by keeping the towel on top of it, you didn't scorch the material. Just beautiful. So keep an eye out for these vintage beautiful aprons. Not only are they absolutely gorgeous, but they're functional as well. That way to iron really does not compromise the garment in any way. So we encourage you, if you have delicate fabrics, old-fashioned fabrics, that is the tip to use. And again, make sure you're washing them by hand or a super gentle cycle in your washing machine. And don't ever put them in the dryer if you can help it. Line dry them. They just come out so much better. Now let's just get outside for a minute. One of the absolute best old-fashioned flowers you can grow are petunias. And we found some great deals on petunias earlier this spring. But we're going to show you how to care for those petunias to keep them blooming now through your first frost. And we're also going to give you a quick peek at how our container garden is doing. You're going to be so surprised. Here you go. We're going to trim our petunias today. And a lot of people think that if you just take this part off, pull that out, that's all you need to do. That is incorrect. You've got to cut the seed pod out as well. This is what it looks like. You're going to come in here, give that a snip. You don't want to just pull these out, the dead flowers. That does nothing because you're still leaving the seed pod there and the energy is going to keep going there. See this? We just cut that. They're just going to continue to bloom beautifully. Here's one right here. Snip. And this will keep your petunias blooming beautifully all summer. We thought we would just give you a little peek at how our garden is doing. We have a container garden. We are already getting beautiful little tomatoes, which for the Northeast is pretty good. Look at our sweet and our hot pepper plants. We have peppers everywhere. They are going to be so delicious. Everything is doing just so well, getting larger and growing. Our basil, we have been using that in cooking already. So just a glimpse, if you have been with us for a while, you know these little guys were about 2 inches tall when we started, and now they are ready to produce and give us food. We're so excited. Hopefully in a couple weeks we'll have some food we can actually eat. We've had a lot of rain here in New York and it has been much cooler than many summers we can remember, really. So we're very fortunate the container garden is doing as well as it is. We do not use pesticides and we do not use any non-organic fertilizer. The only thing we use is compost. So kudos to Paul for keeping that compost pile going all year long, even in the dead of winter. Now, let's get into the kitchen. We are going to be sharing a recipe for buffalo chicken wings that you make out on the grill. It is a variation of the buffalo chicken wing. And yes, the wings were only $1.99 a pound. This chicken wing recipe is going to elevate the chicken wing to a level you cannot believe. What we're doing is switching up the buffalo chicken wing just a little bit. Paul is going to grill them outside. We are going to take a half a cup of hot sauce, Frank's, whichever kind you like, quarter cup of butter, and then a half a cup of either pure maple syrup or honey. We're going to season that with some onion powder, some garlic powder, and if you really want to be daring, a little extra cayenne pepper. That's all the ingredients you need other than the chicken wings. Some recipes will tell you to marinate the chicken wings in this sauce. I would not recommend it because you see that maple syrup right there or the honey, that's going to flare up as soon as you put it on the grill. So cook your wings on the grill first, and then we're going to brush them with this delectable sauce. But first thing we're going to do is combine all these ingredients in a saucepan and heat them through. Over medium heat in this pan, I've got the hot sauce, the maple syrup, and the butter. And to taste, I'm going to add a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic, and because we're living on the edge, just a dash of cayenne. I hope that wasn't too much. Actually, Paul doesn't like these super hot, so hopefully I just didn't overdo that. But I think this will be delicious. And once the butter's melted, you're going to cook it over medium heat, just about 2 to 3 minutes, so all these wonderful flavors come together. Okay, it has been raining for about a week straight. We brought my hanging baskets into the shed because they were just getting too much water. But Paul is a trooper and he is out here barbecuing. We have got 14 wings out on the grill, and the sauce we made will be more than enough. We don't take the tips off of our wings. We just don't. We think it adds flavor, keeps the juices in. Well, it's really raining now, so Emmy's going to go back inside, and she's going to leave Paul out here with the umbrella. These wings look beautiful. Their internal temperature is 165 degrees. Now, Paul is just painting them with this delicious hot sauce, maple syrup, butter mixture. Oh, yum. Do you turn them and then do the other side as well?
Yep, I do both sides. I paint them often because this is going to really caramelize on here. It's going to be delicious.
Here you go. You have got to try these. Oh, they are so good. Those were Paul approved?
Paul approved.
2 thumbs up?
3 thumbs up.
Yeah, they were so good. Again, you can make them in the oven. Just bake them. Make sure the internal temperature is at least 165 degrees. And don't put the marinade on till the last couple of minutes, and they were out of this world. So a great summertime recipe to try. And you don't heat up the house, which is always a plus. Today's question of the day: what old-fashioned appliance do you still use today? What old-fashioned things, if you were to look around your home, are you still using today? It could have been your mom's, your grandmother's. It could be something that you've picked up along the lines, like so many of the things we've picked up. Share with us what they are and encourage us and encourage our viewers. We also want to take a minute and thank you all for for reaching out and just blessing us for our 25th anniversary. So many of you sent messages and cards and beautiful greetings over on Instagram. Oh my goodness, thank you, thank you. We had a lovely day and we're very, very blessed. And believe me, we don't take that for granted. So we appreciate you all so much. We ask that you please give this a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. We would love you to be part of our frugal family. We ask you to be well. We ask you to be safe. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God greatly bless you.